This is the ODU Coaches Show, sponsored by Chartway Federal Credit Union.
Coming off a bye week, it is time to once again talk some Monarch football. And with that, we welcome you to the Chartway Old Dominion Football Coaches Show. Alongside Ricky Ronnie, I'm Mark Davis, as we are every week. And Coach, coming off the bye week, good chance for you guys to reset and regroup physically and mentally?
Yeah, it was great. You know, we practiced Tuesday and Wednesday. Got a lift in on Thursday, gave the guys off Friday and Saturday. But those Tuesday and Wednesday practices got a jump start on Louisiana Tech, but also got a lot of reps for the young guys. Got some rest for some of the older guys that needed it. So I thought we approached it really, really well, and guys were focused, and we got better.
You have 7 games of yours on film right now. What were some points of emphasis from those games that you applied and focused on during the bye week?
One of them we talked about was alignments. We really needed to make sure we were properly aligned on each play, whether it was, you know, a depth on defense, a spacing on offense, or those sort of things. We've got to eliminate the pre- and post-snap penalties, which we focused on, you know, quite a bit. That was something that we really have got to get better at. And then just our overall spacing on special teams. You know, we've got to make sure that we're spaced out the right way. That cost us on that punt return the other day.
Well, and you know, bye weeks can come at any time during the season. You know, yours came 7 games in, kind of right in the middle here. Good chance for you? I mean, do you think it came at a good time, and do your guys seem refreshed going into these final 5 games?
Yeah, I've had bye weeks all over the place. I mean, a couple years ago we had 2 and all those sort of things. But 7th week, this is a good time for a bye week. You know, I've had one where it was the 3rd week of the year. That's too early, you know, and then you go on a little bit of a gauntlet, and then I've had a couple where it's really, really late, and you're kind of in a groove, and it's not where you want to be. So this is pretty much a perfect time right here.
And you get set for Louisiana Tech, and we get another look at Hayden Wolf, I would presume.
Mm-hmm.
You know, full game under his belt. How did that help him moving forward to get a full game under his belt? And his numbers on paper, at least, were pretty good.
Yeah, you know, I thought Hayden played pretty well. We were able to push the ball down the field a little bit and make some plays. Obviously, you know, Ollie Jennings and Zach Kuntz played a big part in that, and they played really, really well. But we got to take care of the football. I mean, that's something that we've got to improve on. But I think Hayden being in there again and being able to see that, part of it is just a feel, a rush, and things. You know, that's something that's hard to simulate. So I thought he's going to get better at that each and every week, and very, very intelligent, prepares, you know, second to none. So, you know, excited to see what he's going to do in this game, but also in the games in the future.
Well, and you know, you brought up Ollie and Zach, 2 guys that have Power 5 experience at the highest level, and you know, guys that I would assume can help a younger guy, you know, feel comfortable and get going, and maybe help with that learning curve, make up, you know, and maybe make him look good if he needs to.
Well, I think if nothing else, they give him confidence.
Sure.
Right? He knows, hey, if I put it near him, they're going to make a play. They're going to get a way to get open in a big spot. I've got some guys to go to, but we've got other guys to go to too, and I think that was something that Hayden saw in that game too. There was a couple times where maybe he could have progressed on and gone to one of our other guys who had got open, and we need to be able to distribute the ball all over the field. We've got some playmakers. We got to make the plays when they come to us, but you know, and that's kind of what the offense is get the guy in the right spot at the right time.
Chance to test yourselves again against Louisiana Tech next week. Switching gears now, Coach, to the defensive side of the ball. You've been able to force a few more turnovers, it seems, the last couple weeks. Is that a change in approach, or is that guys capitalizing on mistakes, a combination of both, being in the right place? What goes into that?
Yeah, I don't think it's a change in approach. We've been focused on it all year, but I do think it's guys getting a little bit more comfortable, guys seeing things a little bit faster and those sort of things. And then, you know, just being comfortable out there and making the play. And we've had a couple other times in games we've had balls hit us in the hands and we just haven't made them. The last couple of weeks we've made those plays, and so we got to continue to do that. You know, we got to run to the football to get the forced fumbles, you know, or really the fumble recoveries. That's kind of a product of luck a little bit, the fumble recovery, but the forced fumbles are you know, that's skill, but then we got to run to the football to increase our odds to actually get the ball back.
So a lot of conference realignment chatter, obviously, that goes on behind closed doors, you know, unbeknownst to you and I. Does that chatter make its way to you? Do your guys a distraction? Not really. Do you know it's there? Do you guys have, you know, do you guys talk about it at all?
Well, I mean, it's all over social media.
Absolutely.
So it's hard for our guys to ignore it. It's hard for me to ignore it. But I think I didn't get asked about it one time from our players. No one talked about it. It wasn't a big deal. I think everybody's just so focused on going 1-0, focused on what we can control. They know that Dr. Seelig and President Hemphill are going to, you know, get Old Dominion football in the best possible place to succeed. And so, you know, that's what we're excited about. So, you know, the guys they're not too worried about. They're worried about Louisiana Tech.
How much does that week to week make the biggest difference? I mean, you can scout the other team and the opponent until you're blue in the face.
Yep.
Fact of the matter is, how much of it is about what you guys are doing on the field?
Well, a lot. I think it's a little bit of both, right? It's being able to do what you do against what they do and pick the best spots and those sort of things. You know, just the little nuanced things, those are the things that really separate a good player from a great player, you know, and just being able to make those little corrections that, hey, maybe last week this play called for this and this week it's this. Maybe this check on defense was this last week and now it's this. You know, those are the things that can really separate some guys and get guys to play faster and sooner. You know, and that's why the experienced guys tend to play a little bit better because they have more experience making those nuanced checks and things like that.
And next up, Louisiana Tech. We're going to get the players' thoughts on facing the Bulldogs and coming off a bye week when the Chartway Old Dominion Football Coaches Show continues right after this.
Play action pass. Zappi has a man in the back of the end zone. Pass is intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone.
A vaccine to prevent breast cancer?
We're trying to prevent the emergence of the tumor, prevent it from ever happening.
News 3 discovers a new trial underway targeting an aggressive kind of breast cancer and the implications for the future of this deadly disease. Monday morning.
Hampton Roads, voted top 10 in the nation for worst traffic.
We get it. Traffic's awful. But don't worry, we've got you covered.
News 3's First Warning Traffic with Ted Noah for your morning and afternoon drive.
Organizers who planned and financed January 6th
We will march to the Capitol building.
are financing Jason Miyares with $500,000. Now, Trump allies are funneling millions more to Jason Miyares, and he's in lockstep with their agenda. The threat is real and growing. 5 police officers died. For the January 6th planners, Jason Miyares is the plan.
I'm Mark Herring, candidate for Attorney General, and I sponsored this ad.
If you're hurt in an accident, you need to think about 2 things: family and money. Huffman & Huffman focus on your family's needs and the money you deserve.
Fall is a great time to go RV in a new camper from TAC RV. Demand for RVs is at an all-time high, so come in today for the top brands and the area's largest service center and parts store. You'll find the perfect camper and get the most out of the fall travel season with the best pricing and financing available. Get outdoors and make memories to last a lifetime at TAC RV, just over the border in Moya.
Hey Monarch fans, Ricky Ronnie here to say show your pride and get the new ODU credit card from Chartway.
Start using the new ODU credit card from Chartway at the stadium, in the arena, or wherever you're enjoying the game, with no annual fees and 20,000 bonus points when you sign up. Plus 0% APR on balance transfers for a full year. Earn points on every dollar you spend to redeem for cash, travel, and more. Sign up today at chartway.com/monarchs. Chartway, official credit union of ODU Athletics.
Go Monarchs!
Extra miles, added peace of mind. Get a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty with every new Southern Kia. Big selection. More new Kia Tellurides, Carnivals, and Sorrentos than any other dealer. Only at Southern Kia in Chesapeake and Virginia Beach. SouthernKiaGreenbrier.com and SouthernKiaLynhaven.com.
I'm Glenn Youngkin, candidate for governor, and I sponsored this ad.
I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach. Glenn Youngkin's taking my words out of context.
Here's some context. As former governor, McAuliffe pushed left liberal bureaucrats into our schools and pushed parents out, covering up rape and sexual assault in our schools. Now our schools are teetering on chaos, violence in kids' classrooms, Virginia students and teachers in danger. Terry McAuliffe failed Virginia children and parents.
Wolf hands it off to Elijah Davis. Straight up the middle. Elijah Davis. Touchdown, Old Dominion. Davis up the gut for 6.
Thanks so much for staying with us here on the Chartway Old Dominion Football Coach Show. After being away from the stadium for a weekend, it's back to work this Saturday against Louisiana Tech. We caught up with the Monarchs themselves about coming off the bye week and facing the Bulldogs.
The record doesn't speak on how good they actually are, and they're a team that's going to look to get back on the right track against us, so we know that we're going to get their best effort. And knowing their defensive coaching staff, as Coach Black was our old coaching staff, we know how extremely prepared he's going to be for us, and just know how ready he's going to have their guys. So we know they're a good team, and they got a lot of good players and a good coaching staff, so it's going to be a good challenge.
They're an experienced team. They're very well coached. You know, Coach Blackwell's done a great job getting his guys prepared, and we know that no matter what circumstance, he's going to have his guys ready to play. So their experience and how well coached they are, I'd say those are probably their two strengths right now, and obviously they have talented players as well.
So we just heard from the players on coming off the bye week and facing Louisiana Tech. Usually this is the time we'd hear from the fans, but Coach, we're going to switch it up a little bit this week. Okay. Obviously, pretty big holiday coming up. There's a lot of Halloween fans out there, so we're going to ask you some Halloween-themed questions. Okay. And see just kind of how you approach this ghoulish holiday. First off, we're going to do 3 again. Yeah. What are the costumes in the Ronnie household this year?
We have a dinosaur, which is my oldest kid, and he kind of walks kind of like a dinosaur. he put it on the other day. It was a good one. It was a good one. We've got a zombie hockey player.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
interesting combo.
Well, you know, yeah, and that kind of fits him too. Yeah. I'm not a big guy who dresses up now as an adult. I got to tell you, it's been a few years since I've dressed up. I know my wife had a plan on a costume, but she tried it on the other day, and she wasn't feeling it. So I think the adults in the Ronnie household may go Sans costume.
Yeah, well, you know, and it's funny you mentioned that. My costume is usually a sports anchor on his day off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's what we do.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've dressed up too, so I'm right there with you. So, are you walking with the kids, or are you home handing out candy? What's your role there on Halloween night?
I'll be at practice. I'll be at practice, and then we actually,
which is not dressing up. It's very much real.
No, we've got a weird week where all the players have off Tuesday to vote. Mm-hmm. Oh. So that's an NCAA rule. So usually we practice Tuesday, so now we got to practice Monday. So it kind of changes our timeline a little bit. So we will be in the office till late on Halloween.
Let's rank the top 4 Halloween candies that Mom and Dad are most likely to steal. Do you? I mean, you guys obviously have the list of things maybe you're gonna.
Yeah. I love Kit Kats.
Yep.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Both of those need to be frozen though.
Okay.
And then also the next one too, Snickers. I'm a big Snickers guy, but I like it frozen. Okay. And then kind of going off that theme, and then I'll go to like some either gummy bears or like Sour Patch Kids. Okay. Yeah. So those would be the next. Candy corn is terrible. It's the worst thing that's ever been created on the face of the earth. The fact that I don't know who thought that was going to be good. It's a bad deal.
Yeah, love it or hate it. It seems like in that.
Yeah, I don't know who loves it though. I haven't met those.
Great question.
You know what I mean?
Question.
So I'm very anti candy corn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't think of any other ones that my kids. Best part is my oldest son, no candy.
Really?
Doesn't eat candy.
What's great. You kind of send them out on a scouting mission for you guys.
In theory, it's great. In theory, yeah. I mean, so yeah, it's one of those things that you end up with a lot more candy in the house. There's a lot of candy that gets dispersed, gets brought back into the office and then given to everybody else. Yeah, because we don't want it in the house for my wife and I. Yeah, it could go bad in a hurry.
There you go. Just keep it for the coaches and not the players. Obviously, that's bad for the diet. So our top 4s are very similar. I was a Kit Kat and Reese's guy. Took my top 2 spots. Yeah. Then I went more on the fruit section to Starburst and Skittles. Ooh. You know what?
The
pink Starburst to me, the pink Starburst to me are. My lady likes yellow, and I've never met anybody besides her who thinks yellow is the best. I think it's a misguided opinion personally.
No, you got to combine the red and the pink.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the same thing as Skittles too. I like to take the Skittles, but I like to take all the other flavors out and just eat the red
and the purple. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. No doubt at all. So we obviously accomplished some. We figured out some good things here, Coach. Thanks a lot for playing along here.
Absolutely.
As we approach Halloween here, and remember, this is usually the chance you get to ask Coach Ronnie a question. If you want to do that, just email askthecoach@WTKR.com. You can win a sideline experience and tickets to the next home game. Now let's head inside the Old Dominion locker room and meet some of the Monarchs.
I'm a big breakfast guy, and we usually get breakfast in the hotel. So I'll load up on the potatoes, a little bit of bacon, some of the eggs, a little bit of fruit, maybe a bagel, something like that. I'm a big guy, so I kind of eat a lot for pregame meal. Got a lot of, it takes a lot of fuel to keep me going the whole game. Scoop up a fumble, score in the end zone. I think I'm going to try my hops out, and I'm dunking on the goalpost. I grew up a Falcons fan, so watching Tony Gonzalez, throw through the uprights every time he scored, I always want to do that. I have to go with that one. I would pick super speed. I've never been very fast in my life. It's never been my strong suit. So I guess if I had to pick one, I would pick the one thing, I guess, my biggest weak point.
Yeah.
I think I got a hidden talent cooking. I think my claim to fame would be, or my personal claim to fame is I cook the best pot of gumbo in the state of Virginia at this point. So anybody who wants to challenge me to that, I'm more than welcome. I guess you know where to reach me at, but I'll challenge anyone on the team too if they want to see the smoke in the kitchen. They know where to find me.
The politicians in Richmond don't get it. Watering down educational standards, defunding our police and putting criminals ahead of victims, nickel and diming taxpayers, enough is enough. I'm Tim Anderson. I fought hard for my clients in the courtroom, and in Richmond, I'll fight for you. Supporting law enforcement to keep families safe, improving education, and working to lower our cost of living. I'm Tim Anderson, and I'm running for delegate because you deserve better.
Need a loan arranger? Visit our loan arranger. The Chesapeake Square Pond Loan Ranger is here to save the day and get you the cash you need. Bring in your valuables and walk out with cash. Your source for cash for gold and a great selection of guns and ammo, ATVs, electronics, luxury handbags, and jewelry at half the retail cost. Newly expanded for a larger selection and voted best pawn shop in Chesapeake.
Discover the difference at Chesapeake Square Pond.
Is your car giving you a field day?
Bring it in. We'll fix that.
Right now at NTB, get a rebate of up to $100 on 4 select tires with paid installation. Plus, get a prepaid card up to $70 on 4 select Cooper tires. Only at NTB.
The cost of living is soaring, and Kelly Fowler only made it worse. Kelly Fowler increased the gas tax, costing you an extra $200 a year, and even voted to raise your annual electric bill $800. Kelly Fowler is taking your hard-earned money.
I'm Tanya Gould. I know what it's like being a single mom, working 2 jobs. Money can be tight, and as your delegate, I will fight to lower the cost of living and be your voice in Richmond. I'm Tanya Gould, candidate for delegate, and I sponsored this ad.
So we could sacrifice support and durability to make our beds fit into a box, but that's just not us. For 30 years, the original mattress factory has chosen to use only the best materials, and nothing can match the craftsmanship and pride that our team puts into every bed we make. It's not the easiest way, but it's our way. And you simply can't fit this kind of quality into a box.
The original mattress factory, hand-built right here in Virginia Beach.
Extra miles, added peace of mind. Get a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty with every new Southern Kia. Big selection, more new Kia Tellurides, Carnivals, and Sorrentos than any other dealer. Only at Southern Kia in Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, SouthernKiaGreenbrier.com, and SouthernKiaLynhaven.com.
I'm Alex Askew, and 2 years ago, you all sent me to the State House to deliver for our community, and I'm so proud of the progress we made.
We capped the cost of insulin, ended surprise billing, and protected affordable health care for hundreds of thousands of Virginians. We raised teacher pay and are keeping our children and teachers safe in schools, and helped our first responders, increasing their pay so they can protect our community. I'm proud to be working for Virginia Beach.
Hands the ball off, and Watson stutter steps inside the 1, leads, touchdown, Old Dominion.
That was Ted Alexander on the Old Dominion Sports Radio Network 94.1 if you can't make it out to Ballard Stadium this weekend. And visiting Ballard Stadium, the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. Coach, that's next on your schedule, trying to go 1-0 this week. Yeah. What jumps off the page about the Bulldogs to you guys?
Well, they're a talented team that's won a lot of games. I mean, they've got a very experienced head coach who knows how to win games. They've had a tough schedule, and they've competed in those games and done a nice job. You know, they got an experienced quarterback who's been in a few spots, and he can make some plays. They've got some very fast wide receivers who can get open, do some things there. On the defensive side of the ball, as always, they have a great defensive line, and that's just something that's kind of been a hallmark for them. And so, yeah, it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Yeah, and you talked about that tough schedule, 2-5, but losses to Mississippi State, SMU, and NC State by a combined 10 points. They've played some good teams. They've played them close. Similar to what we talked about Western Kentucky, maybe, where their record may not indicate how good this team is.
Yeah, I would say that for sure. I mean, they've been battling and a play here or there, and they'd be a different story for them. So, it's going to be a great challenge for us. Obviously, getting them at home is a huge advantage, and so excited to be back in SB Ballard Stadium, and we need to get off to a fast start and get the fans involved.
Skip Holtz has gotten the Bulldogs to 7 straight bowl games. What has allowed them to have consistent success?
Well, I think probably his approach. You know, he's been a head coach at multiple spots. He's been a head coach for a long time. I mean, at one point he was the youngest head coach in the country, I think, when he was at UConn. So, you know, he's seen everything. You know, obviously he's got all the experience from his father as well. And so, I mean, he's seen and you know, there's not a situation that's going to rise in this game that he hasn't been a part of. So, you know, that's something that's allowed them to be consistent. He's a great coach, and he knows how to build a program, and he's done a nice job with that.
David Blackwell, one of his assistants, ODU's defensive coordinator in 2019. Coached a lot of the guys on the defense right now. Is there an emotional component that adds? I know once the kickoff happens, you're focused on the game, but is there any emotional component added by a former coach being on the opposite sideline?
I think now it's so long ago, right? It's 2 years ago at this point, and Coach Blackwell did a great job while he was here. Have a lot of respect for him and what he's done, you know, in his career. He's doing a nice job over there and mixing it up and creating some tough looks for the offense. So I think that emotional component, maybe if it's the year after, maybe, but 2 years later, I think it's probably gone.
So we talk about the Bulldogs on defense. They rank near the bottom of the league in total defense, giving about 450 yards a game. Good chance for Hayden to go to work here this week?
Well, they give you a bunch of different looks. I mean, they've really played pretty good defense. They've just given up some plays that have kind of skewed those numbers a little bit. But, you know, they've done some nice job, you know, in terms of, like, over the whole course of the game, they did a nice job. It's just they'll have spurts where maybe they struggled. So we've got to take advantage of the things that are there, and really we've got to trust our eyes and what we see, and that's going to be a critical part of it.
On the other side of the ball, you guys will face another quarterback who can sling it in Austin Kendall. I mean, you guys are getting used to seeing these guys that can throw that football, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a very talented kid. I remember, you know, recruiting him a little bit when he was coming out of high school, and obviously, you know, went to Oklahoma, and then he's been at West Virginia and all those sort of places. So he's got a ton of experience. I mean, and so he's another guy who he's probably seen it all. So there's probably not a look we're going to be able to give him that he hasn't seen before. We've got to make sure that you know, we put pressure on him. I mean, that's always going to be the difference maker, no matter who's at quarterback. You know, it's hard to throw when they're on their back. So we got to make sure we get to the quarterback.
So are you a believer in momentum? And how can a win on Saturday help you guys gain momentum for the final stretch here?
You know, I'm really not a believer in momentum. I think that I'm a believer in belief. It can create more belief because it can show everybody on the team, okay, when we do things this way, we do things the right way, this is what can happen, and these are the tangible things that happen. But I don't believe in being able to carry momentum from week to week and things like that. I don't see that, but I do. There is a belief component, a faith component that can come into it. That's something that, hey, I watched this guy do it last week, and we're going to do it again. And so there's that, but momentum I don't believe in, no.
And the next chance to do that is going to be Saturday against Louisiana Tech, facing the Monarchs at 3:30 at Ballard Stadium. Coach, thanks a lot for being with us as always, and best of luck to you guys on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Great being here again.
Price from the far hash mark, kicking toward the Atlantic Bay Football Complex, and that field goal is good.
A teen takes his own life.
We were arguing about something. He took out a gun.
Very unexpected, of course. It's devastating.
And sadly, that level of grief is felt by many Virginia families. Monday morning,
News 3 investigates youth suicide and mental health.
News 3 investigator Margaret Cavanaugh looks at the troubling numbers.
Young people are feeling stress at home, feeling stress with the pandemic.
And what experts are seeing now that kids are back in the classroom. A News 3 investigation, Monday at 6 a.m.
Otto Waxman comes with a cost. Higher health care costs, no coverage for pre-existing conditions, and higher prices at the pharmacy. Waxman's bankrolled by the for-profit healthcare industry, and the more they charge us for medication, the more Waxman personally profits. He's even backed by the same politicians who opposed expanding affordable healthcare. With Otto Waxman as delegate, we'll all pay.
I'm Rosalind Tyler, candidate for delegate, and I sponsored this ad.
This is a little town called Basic. That's where the townspeople buy their basic cars, and that's a 2021 Nissan Sentra. It comes with standard Apple CarPlay and more standard horsepower and safety features than a Toyota Corolla. Looks like Basic is never going to be the same.
Oh, no.
The 2021 Nissan Sentra. Anything but basic.
Get a low $209 per month lease on Sentra, or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models.
Are you faced with overwhelming debt? If so, the Bowman Law Firm can help. Our team of experienced attorneys provide legal solutions to financial problems. Call to schedule your free consultation today. We will help you.
Bye-bye to 2021 at Southern. Remaining inventory must go during Jeep Adventure Days. Low 0% financing options, high trade-in values. Upgrade and save on a new vehicle today. Only at Southern Jeep in Chesapeake and Norfolk. DrivingSouthern.com.
Hey Monarch fans, Ricky Ronnie here to say show your pride and get the new ODU credit card from Chartway.
Start using the new ODU credit card from Chartway at the stadium, in the arena, or wherever you're enjoying the game. With no annual fees and 20,000 bonus points when you sign up. Plus 0% APR on balance transfers for a full year. Earn points on every dollar you spend to redeem for cash, travel, and more. Sign up today at chartway.com/monarchs. Chartway, official credit union of ODU Athletics.
Go Monarchs!
Patrick Schooley. He murdered a beloved grandma in cold blood. The verdict, life in prison without parole. The liberals in Richmond let him out, and many more. Under Attorney General Mark Herring, our parole board is a scandal. They release violent criminals and don't even notify the victims. Mark Herring refuses to enforce the law, but I will. I'm Jason Miyares. I'm running for Attorney General, and I sponsored this ad.
Welcome back to the Chartway Old Dominion Football Coaches Show. Now, sure, the game inside the stadium is fun, but there's a lot of fun pregame to be had as well outside the grounds of Ballard Stadium. Our cameras made their way out to the parking lots to see how Monarch Nation gears up for game day.
Well, we're doing what we've been doing since 2009. Once a year we do a seafood fest, which is what we got going on here. We cook more food than we're ever going to eat of anything you can pull out of the sea.
It was in conjunction with the Oyster Bowl. We've got some great cooks in the group, and everyone contributes, participates with, fresh oysters, fresh clams, lobster, shrimp, clam chowder, everything. And we just have a good time sharing food and sharing some laughs.
What's your favorite thing to cook out here, of all the stuff that you've done out here?
On Seafood Fest, bacon wrapped scallops are wonderful, and I make the Oyster Rockefeller, and we cook those off on the grill, and they turn out great, so those two are probably my favorites.
I think it's the Oysters Rock. It's going to ODU here and going and having that for so many years, and having some friends make that, it feels like Hampton Roads to me.
Well, you got to start with fresh oysters. And like I said, we source them from up on the Eastern Shore. I shuck them the night before and then make the mix. We use lots of bacon, lots of spinach, lots of cream and Parmesan cheese, a bunch of seasoning, and they come out great.
I've been coming to these games since I've been like 2 or 3, and I just love coming to the tailgates and coming to the games, and it's always been I look forward to.
Do your dads sometimes kind of embarrass you out here?
Yes, totally. Yes, it's really bad. Yes, usually at the tailgate, but at the games, definitely. They're just loud. It's just crazy. Very loud. Very loud.
Yeah, I mean, dad jokes and dad stokes, I guess. When I'm stoked, I'm making jokes, and she's embarrassed at the same time. But yeah, we enjoy it. It's a good family atmosphere around here. It's been great.
It's a great vibe, great friends, great family, and we look forward to these 6 weekends a year.
And that wraps up this week's edition of the Chartway Old Dominion Football Coaches Show. Remember, if you joined us late, you can catch the entire show on the sports page of WTKR.com. Monarchs and Louisiana Tech kick off on Saturday at 3:30. Thanks so much for joining us, and go Monarchs.
Back to throw, not easy with the slippery ball. Goes to Kuntz, he makes the catch at midfield and a touchdown saving tackle. And 2 from the 19. Wolf hands it off to Elijah Davis, straight up the middle. Elijah Davis, touchdown, Old Dominion. Davis up the gut for 6. Wolf back to throw. Guns it over the middle, pass high, caught Kuntz. Oh, that's where the 6'8 comes in handy.